Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Picking Out Fruits and Vegetables and Cutting Them Up. Today I'm going to take you on a very exciting journey to the wild world of tomatoes. You may have noticed this great big mystery box here. What's in the box, you might ask? Well, be prepared. I thought you might ask, Thane, what's the best kind of tomato to buy at the store? Well, this is such a surprise. It is canned tomatoes. Now, the reason for this is that a canned tomato is picked when it's ripe, whereas the fresh tomatoes you buy at the store are usually picked when they're bright green and hard as a rock, and then shipped and stored in a local warehouse until they turn red. And that's why they don't have very good flavor, like if you were to eat one right from, grandma's garden. So, these are good for things like sauces or things like that where flavor is most important, but you may still need to get a fresh tomato if you're putting it like slices on a sandwich or, you're going to make pico de gallo or something like that. So in that case, what if you want to buy a slicer tomato? I didn't even buy one of these today because I couldn't even find a good one. If you can, you would want to buy one that's hydroponic or hothouse that are grown in greenhouses and should be maybe a little bit more ripe. But the ones I saw in the store today were from Mexico, so I knew they had to travel 1,000 miles to get here. So who knows when those were picked? Ideally you'd be growing your own or buying at a farmer's market or something like that. And if you do buy one of these, if you can find a good one, the way to cut that up would be so I'm going to use this for an example. You can buy a handy little device called a corer, and that is used, to scoop out the core. You can also use these to scoop out the stem of a strawberry. Now, if you don't have a corer, you would take a paring knife like this, and you can hold your thumb right near the edge, and that gives you just this little bitty, like a box cutter to work with, and you would turn that around. So it's only going to stick that far into the tomato, and that's how you could get the core out. And then you could slice it. If you don't have a, super awesome razor sharp knife, it's fine to use a serrated knife for, cutting a slicer tomato into slices. But if you're going to make something like, diced tomatoes for salsa or pico de gallo or whatever, you want to get a Roma tomato. And the reason for that is these don't have as much inside. They have more of the peel to, seed and mush on the inside ratio. And that's what you think when you think of a diced tomato in a nice salsa, you think of the outside. So what you're going to do to dice this up is just cut it in half. Now, the next step is somewhat wasteful, so if you don't want to do this, this is fine. The next step is you would take a spoon and you would scoop out the inside, the seeds, and this kind of pulpy core that aren't going to be as good tasting or as pretty. Then you could maybe compost those or something. So once you've done that, then you can just cut out the little core that's right there. And now we have this nice big piece of, peel outside of the tomato. So to dice that up, I'm going to show you a handy trick. It should be obvious, right? You would make slices like this and then slice them that way. But to get a better sort of result on this part here that's vertical, so you don't just get one big thing, you're going to push down on it. And that will give you these nice big slices like this. When we get close to my hand, I'm going to pinch my fingers in like this. All right, and then you just turn it. This is kind of this is a little more long than I'm comfortable in cutting, so I'm going to take some of these slices and put them over here like this. And then we'll just finish dicing it up. And that is how to dice a tomato. The only other thing I can think of... Oh, where's my dog? She's outside. She doesn't want to come inside. So if you want to say hi to her, she's right there. and she's got the ball, and she wants me to chase her around the yard but not give me the ball. But that's the end of the episode. If you got any other fruits or vegetables you want to see me pick out and cut up, let me know. All right, bye.